I grew up in New Mexico and had a great desert childhood, running through the tumbleweeds and getting in the back of trucks and going bouncing around. And then decided on college and studied health science and had a career in policy and lived and worked in Washington, D.C. And it was a really great time of life. And then decided to get back into nursing school. And I was so set, had my plan. I was going to finish my BSN and I was going to move to Seattle and work for Harborview and be this trauma nurse. And then I met my husband, and he kind of screwed up those plans, but I'd do it all over again. So I married into my family. My husband was an Army officer, and we have 6 children. And I was prepared for marriage. I was not prepared for being a stepmom, but it's lots of fun every day. It's really rewarding to get to see just those milestones of life. I got to teach our youngest how to read, and I get to be there for all of their triumphs and hardships and everything else in between. Between school and working now and being a mom and a wife too, and I don't have a lot of time for much else besides experimenting on recipes and trying out things. I do love Pinterest. I'm just going to admit that. I do love Pinterest. But just looking for little ways to make our everydays a little bit better. I had a career before deciding to come back to school for nursing. I had been doing policy and had a lot of great adventures. At the end of the day, though, I had kind of been tired of wearing a suit and shuffling around, and I really felt like I could make a bigger difference one-on-one. And I have family members that have been nurses, and I spent time with family members in medical situations, and I felt like nursing was where I needed to be. So I started back down that road, and I'm looking forward now towards being a kidney living donor coordinator at the U, hopefully. I was supposed to be my father's kidney donor. He passed away before we got to that point, but I feel like it's something that's an amazing process to guide a family through and to be a part of, to have a long-term relationship with patients and their families, and to see a really huge difference made in their lives. I finished the practical nursing program in May of 2015 and passed the NCLEX a couple weeks later and started working as a nurse at the end of June. I work at Rocky Mountain Care Center as a LPN. I work with patients with ventilators and trachs and gastric tubes and all kinds of fun stuff to play with. It's a great place to learn. I also continue my education through Weber State now. I'm in the RM program here on the OWATC campus. I really appreciate that relationship and the articulation there and a chance to keep moving on. I want to thank Tawn Carver for, she's truly the most gifted teacher I've ever had. She has a real passion for nursing and an amazing knowledge base and experience. She was just wonderful in the classroom. She kept us thinking, and I think forever as a nurse, I will always have her voice in the back of my head, thinking through things and being a critical, smart nurse.